Natasha Williams, 28, never imagined her 2-year job at Chicago's top restaurant would end like this. "You're going to do exactly what I say or pack your things," manager Kevin Torres snarled, grabbing her arm and dragging her down a narrow hallway away from the security cameras. Natasha stayed calm. "Please, Mr. Torres, let go. I will not accept dirty money, period." Kevin's face turned red. "You think you're better than everyone else? You're just a waitress I took pity on. People like you should be grateful." What Kevin didn't know was that Natasha had been preparing for this moment for months. Hidden in her apron pocket, her phone recorded every racist comment, every corrupt act, every abuse of power she had witnessed. Over 6 months, she had documented 43 recordings, 27 photographs, and 62 detailed reports sent weekly to someone very powerful. "Let's have a private chat in the bathroom," Kevin whispered, squeezing her arm. "Maybe you'll understand your position better." "You don't want to do that, Mr. Torres," Natasha replied evenly. A cold voice cut through the tension. "I would say you should let go of my wife immediately." Kevin turned, eyes wide, as a tall man in an impeccable suit approached. 2 large men flanked him. "Alejandro Moretti," Kevin muttered, recognizing the name everyone in town knew, even if they had never seen his face. Natasha smiled. She had called her husband 2 hours earlier. In 3 years of marriage, she'd never revealed her identity at work, building her own reputation away from his shadow. "You have 3 seconds to explain why you're touching my wife," Alessandro said calmly. Kevin let go, stumbling back. It's a misunderstanding," he stammered. "A misunderstanding?" Alessandro repeated, savoring each word. "You called my wife an insolent little black girl and dragged her to a place without cameras. That seems very intentional." Natasha watched Kevin's arrogance crumble. For 2 years, he had humiliated her, her colleagues, and tampered with receipts, all while believing he was untouchable. Now he realized he had been carefully observed. "You offered me $5,000 to forget about Senator Richardson's fake receipts," Natasha said, revealing her recording. Kevin's face drained of color. "Over the past 6 months, Kevin, you've been recorded, photographed, and documented in full. Every racist remark, every bribe, every illegal action. You were building your own downfall," she continued. Kevin stuttered. I thought I didn't realize you. You thought because I'm black and a waitress, I would silently accept humiliation. That was your biggest mistake." Natasha's calm gaze cut him deeper than any insult. Alessandro watched with pride. Natasha had insisted on working undercover to prove her own skills. Now, Kevin realized he had been nothing more than a lab specimen, his every move recorded for the perfect takedown. "You gave us exactly what we needed," Alessandro said. Kevin had committed a federal crime in front of witnesses and hidden cameras. $5,000 in bribes, offered to silence him, sealed his fate. "Kevin Torres, you're under arrest for money laundering, tax evasion, racial discrimination, and conspiracy to commit federal fraud," announced Michael Santos, Alessandro's advisor and a licensed federal prosecutor coordinating the operation. Kevin's knees buckled. "I have children, a family." "Exactly," Alessandro said coldly. "That's why you should have remembered your boundaries before laying hands on mine." Natasha calmly revealed a briefcase full of evidence, photographs, recordings, and documents detailing not only his actions, but an entire network of corruption linking politicians, judges, and businessmen through the restaurant. Kevin realized his so-called allies were being arrested. Senator Richardson, Judge Morrison, Congressman Walsh, all implicated. "You see, Kevin," Natasha said, closing the folder with finality, "every humiliation you imposed fueled a determination you never recognized. Your arrogance and prejudice only prepared me for this moment." As Kevin was handcuffed and led away, Natasha looked on, composed. Her years of strategy and patience had paid off, not out of revenge, but justice. 6 months later, Natasha stood on stage at the Chicago Convention Center. Mayors, business leaders, and students applauded as she received the National Anti-Corruption Award. She had transformed humiliation into power, invisibility into a superpower. Through her efforts, the Williams Moretti Institute was founded, training investigators to combat corruption. Elegance became the first restaurant certified as corruption-free, and employees like Maria and Jessica thrived under new opportunities. Kevin Torres, now serving a 15-year federal sentence, had lost everything: reputation, freedom, and his family's trust. Meanwhile, Natasha's story became a blueprint for systemic change. Underestimating someone based on skin color or profession is not only morally wrong, Natasha concluded, it is strategically suicidal. Her words echoed around the auditorium, her story trending worldwide. Colleges studied her tactics, social media celebrated her triumph, and young women everywhere embraced her mantra, invisibility is a superpower. Natasha Williams Moretti had turned every act of prejudice into evidence, every insult into strategy, and every moment of suffering into a legacy that would outlast those who underestimated her.